finally, we're going back to this. So, just like I said, um, we're gonna continue with the entire Granolah arc. Like I said, the one that Justin's Den had remade because it wasn't all of it. This is part two, and I made sure that we stepped right where we left off at, and I believe it's where Granolah and Vegeta was fighting. So it was just about to get good. So yeah, here we go. By the way, Urban Ninja's in the background. Leave a like if you're gonna if y'all have been waiting for this to come back. I know I have.
Refusing to deny his mission, though, Vegeta urges Granolah to.
Hold on, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Just to make sure that is not but so loud. I don't know why the heck this thing keeps going blue, but alright.
Hit him with all the power he's got and transforms to Ultra Ego once more, surprising Granolah, and the battle continues. Vegeta headbutts Granolah toward the Shigurian city, and the latter's attempt to break his fall proves futile as the Saiyan kicks him through the city's protective barrier. Immediately, Granolah urges Vegeta to take the fight elsewhere to avoid damaging the city. Vegeta, however, ignores his request and continues the fight, examining once more to move their location.
Let's go, Vegeta.
Granolah punches Vegeta, but is met with the Saiyan's ferocious bite as he's slammed to the ground. Vegeta goads Granolah in saying he can't use his rapid-fire attacks in the city, but with Granolah standing directly over him with the city's safety assured, the fighter unleashes a barrage of attacks on Vegeta at point-blank range to end the fight. When the smoke dissipates, Vegeta is revealed unconscious in a crater created by Granolah, and Granolah collapses from exhaustion as a window breaks behind him.
Imagine somebody really shooting you while you're laid down on the ground. Point blank right to your chest. And then when the dust settles, all you got on is your pants. How would y'all feel about that?
Revealing a terrified Shigurian family in their home. Granolah then flashes back to his childhood when he runs into a building where his mother is waiting for him. The two embrace, but turn in horror as Granolah is brought back to the present, realizing the fear he's causing the Shigurians. Having regained consciousness, Vegeta tells Granolah that the Saiyan race deserves to be punished, but by doing so, he's just repeating history. Pondering this revelation, Granolah becomes irate at Vegeta, unwilling to forfeit his chance for revenge, and uses a shockwave to hurl the Saiyan out of the city. Granolah approaches him and gathers all his power for a final, suicidal attack to finish off Vegeta, stating that he'll have to wait to get revenge on Frieza until they're both in hell. Accepting his fate, Vegeta apologizes to Beerus, acknowledging that he couldn't revert to the man he once was, and that the power of the God of Destruction was beyond his reach. Goku, watching the act from afar, rushes in as well as Minato, who's carried forward on a spaceship piloted by Oatmeal. Goku tries to intervene, but the power of the attack prevents him from getting closer. Minato calls out to Granolah to stop, and the sudden distraction gives Goku the chance to knock Granolah to the ground, calling both he and Vegeta foolish for needlessly sacrificing their lives. Minato lands the ship assisted by Oatmeal, and upon revealing himself, Goku and Vegeta question what a Namekian is doing on planet Cereal. Granolah pleads with Minato to stand aside and let him finish the Saiyans, but the old man explains that he lied to Granolah in the past, as there was one Saiyan who didn't deserve his vengeance. 40 years ago, the man who saved both Granolah and himself was none other than a Saiyan named Bardock.
My man Bardock. Listen, y'all can say whatever y'all want about this version of Bardock. Listen, I know people will always have love for Z Bardock. So will I. I will always, while I'm wearing this sweater, okay? I will always have love for Z Bardock, but we cannot sit here and deny what is about to transpire right now, okay? We can't. This is good. This is good stuff, bro.
4 decades prior, on planet Cereal, the Namekians would often interact with their neighboring Ceruleans to provide mutual assistance. However, this peaceful coexistence was disrupted when the Saiyans and Frieza Force launched an attack, devastating the city and its inhabitants. There weren't many Namekians or Ceruleans on the planet to begin with, so the invasion went off without much issue. Children and elders were massacred, and it wasn't long before Minato became the last surviving Namekian on the planet. As the Saiyans continue their rampage, Bardock, in his great ape form, notices a young Cerulean boy running toward a building in the distance and decides to follow him. Making his way toward the structure, we see Granolah and his mother terrified at the sight of the great ape, and Granolah passes out in fear. Rather than immediately killing the two though, Bardock hesitates. In a desperate move, a brave Cerulean named Flake takes aim to destroy the moon as one of the Saiyans rush toward him. However, Flake miraculously releases his energy blast moments before being hit, making impact with the moon and destroying it. The Saiyan warriors revert to their base forms, and initially assuming victory, Flake is confronted by one of them as he asserts Saiyans are powerful even without their great ape forms. In an instant, Flake is knocked into a structure
they still got their
with
tails
force and killed.
They still had their tails.
The Saiyan who was grazed by Flake's attack recovers. Bardock, having also reverted, stands before Granolah and his mother inside the structure. Frightened, Granolah's mother launches a warning shot, destroying one of Bardock's shoulder guards and grazing him. Gazing at the mother and her child, Bardock is brought back to a moment with his wife Gine, who beams with joy while being around their baby boy, Kakarot. Suddenly, Bardock's comrade, Leek, calls out to him from outside. Leek informs Bardock that their mission was accomplished and that they need to depart, but Bardock instructs Leek to leave without him as he intended to search for survivors. Bardock, using his scouter, confirms that these two are the last surviving Ceruleans. He also—
Real talk, I would be Leek. Leek kind of looks like me. Leek kind of looks like me. I ain't gonna hold you.
also detects another survivor in the mountains with a power level of 5 and decides to take the two to the survivor's location. The surviving Namekian, Minato, senses the Saiyan's approach and attempts to attack him, but Bardock easily stops it. Bardock finds it odd that the Namekian's power level jumped from 5 to 213 and correctly deduces that the race must have the ability to control their power levels. Upon seeing an unconscious Granolah in Bardock's arm, Minato calms down after his mother walks in, overjoyed with seeing surviving Ceruleans. The mother introduces herself as Muesli and seeks refuge with Minato, and Bardock advises the group to remain hidden to avoid drawing any attention from Frieza and his army. Despite initially being skeptical, Minato accepts the Saiyan's explanation of helping them without expecting anything. Bardock, before leaving, advises the group to survive for as long as they can, and upon being asked for his name by Minato, Bardock reveals his identity. Back in the present, Minato finishes recounting the past, leaving Granolah bewildered that a Saiyan saved his life. Minato apologizes for withholding the truth, and notes that Goku bears a striking resemblance to Bardock. Goku, however, states that he's unaware of any familial ties as he was raised on Earth, and Vegeta interjects, revealing that Bardock was Goku's father. This revelation shocks everyone, and Minato remarks that it must be destiny that brought them.
And you know what? That is the first time, canonically, that Goku finds out about his dad. I mean this in every word that I say. Bardock has got to come back. I'm sorry. I'm one of those guys that I need to see Goku's reaction to his father in his face. I need to see it. I need to see Bardock see his son and his son's family and just either be proud or be confused. I need to see it. I need to see it badly. I really do.
All together. Goku wishes he knew more about his father, while Vegeta points out the genetic nature of soft-heartedness in Goku's family. Granolah then questions why his mother didn't survive, to which Minato responds with a bitter recollection of the past. In another flashback, Bardock receives treatment for his wounded arm from Minato. Suddenly, the Saiyan detects the presence of someone, and in the distance, he spots the Heater Gang. Bardock, Minato, and Muesli listen in on the Heaters as they discuss their scheme to deceive the Sigurians and usurp Frieza in the future. Abruptly, Granolah wakes up and screams upon seeing Bardock, startling everyone and alerting the Heaters.
Jesus!
Minato quickly knocks Granolah out, and and Bardock grows irritated at the kid for revealing their location. With little time to prepare, Bardock takes Monaido's robe as the heaters approach them. Concealing his face, Bardock pretends to have discovered survivors when questioned by Elec on his identity. Elec instructs Bardock to kill the trio immediately, but when the Saiyan hesitates, he questions this. Bardock attempts to buy the trio some time by mentioning Monaido's healing ability, but suddenly, Elec fires a weapon, shooting Granola's mother in the heart.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh my god.
Elec tells Bardock to kill the kid and take the Namekian, but the Saiyan surges with anger, noticed by Gas. Unexpectedly, Bardock unleashes a blast at the heaters, but Gas protects them with a force field. Utilizing the smoke as cover, Bardock managed to escape with the others. Monaido attempts to heal Granola's mother, but he lacks the power to do so. Wondering what's gotten into him, Bardock glances at a young Granolah as Elec simultaneously tells the others that Bardock, the Namekian, and the boy have to die. Gas offers to finish the job alone and flies off to find. In the present, the heaters continue their search for the Cerulean Dragon Balls. Elec and Gas reminisce about their encounter with Bardock and Gas's fight with him 40 years ago. Gas notes he'll never suffer an indignity like that ever again, and pulling out the first Dragon Ball they managed to find, Elec alludes to a dastardly wish. At the same time, the heaters draw closer to the second and final Dragon Ball. On their way, Mackie checks on Oil, who informs her
they only
of the
need
current
2 Dragon Balls
situation.
on
Mackie
that
runs to
world.
alert the others, who discover that Goku, Vegeta, and Granolah have stopped fighting. Elec questions this turn of events, only to find out that Monaido intervened. This annoys Elec, who is hoping Monaido would stay out of their affairs. Gas suggests they simply eliminate all of them, and his siblings concur, giving that both parties are fatigued from their earlier conflict. Elec decides to take advantage of the situation and summon the dragon after locating the remaining Dragon Ball, as Mackie hands him the radar and spell to summon Toronbo. Before she and Gas depart for Goku and the others, Elec tells Gas he'll be making a wish for him, prompting Gas to state his current strength is more than sufficient to handle everyone. However, Elec insists that their plans hinge on Gas's power, and Gas pledges to complete their mission as he and Mackie depart. Back at the battlefield, Granolah is infuriated to learn that Elec, who he served for years, is the one who murdered his mother. He confronts Monaido for withholding this information, but Monaido explains that he was trying to protect him. Goku intervenes to prevent Granolah from harming Monaido, while Vegeta questions if Bardock was victorious in his fight against Gas. Monaido confirms that Bardock was in fact victorious, mentioning that Gas was a formidable opponent. However, before he can finish his sentence, the sky darkens. The Saiyans liken this darkness to their Dragon Balls on Earth as Granolah and Monaido grow anxious. As the two likely predicted, Elec successfully summons the dragon and stands in awe of the sight. The dragon, Toronbo, inquires for Elec's wish, which is granted off screen. The sky goes back to normal, and the arrival of an overwhelming power sends shockwaves through Goku, Vegeta, and Granolah. Oil and Mackie then arrive, taunting the trio of fighters, and notes they'll be disposed of soon. Mackie sarcastically thanks Granolah for his services, but declares him an obstacle now that he'd become the strongest in the universe. However, she notes that he's not the only one capable of making a wish. She and Oil then introduce Gas, now the most powerful being in the universe. Monaido deduces that the heaters used the Dragon Balls to make this possible, surprising Goku and Vegeta, who knew nothing of Dragon Balls on planet Cereal. Granolah admits that he used the Dragon Balls to gain his power as well, which now makes sense to Goku. Effortlessly, Gas initiates a destructive energy beam that splits the land, forcing everyone to evade it. The beam destroys Granolah's ship and leaves everyone in awe. Without hesitation, Gas conjures a pitchfork and tosses it at Granolah, impaling the Cerulean and attaching him to half of his ship's remains. Landing in front of the group, Gas expresses his disdain for Granolah and the satisfaction he feels in finally having the chance to kill him. Goku attempts to intervene, but Gas snaps his fingers and binds him with energy constructs. Goku is unable to move, and Gas recognizes the Saiyan as Bardock's son, a fact that's corroborated by Oil. Gas inquires about Bardock's current status, but Vegeta explains that their race, including Bardock, was nearly wiped out by Frieza, leaving only a handful of survivors. The heaters are unfazed by this, Gas and decide to kill Goku and the remaining Saiyans, prompting Goku to question why they have to die in the first place. Providing a rather vague response, Gas conjures an axe and declares Goku dead, but just as he goes in for the kill, he's blasted in the back. The axe nearly hits Goku as it lands, and when Gas turns around, Granolah is discovered to have fired the blast, claiming that the title of the strongest in the universe belongs to him. With no words exchanged, Gas rushes in and attacks Granolah. The heater continues to pummel him, demonstrating an obvious dominance over the once strongest warrior. Meanwhile, Manito frees Goku from his bonds and begins to heal him, requesting if he can do one thing for him and save Granolah's life. Goku agrees, and at the same time, Granolah continues his struggle against Gas. Attempting to land hits, he questions why the heaters let him live, and Gas explains that they didn't know he survived until several years after the fall of Planet Cereal. He goes on to say that by that time, Granolah had already made a name for himself as a bounty hunter, and wanting to utilize him as a resource instead, Elec agreed to keep him alive. Granolah then flashes back to his youth post-Cereal's destruction, as a conversation ensues between Manito and Elec. Manito stating that Granolah doesn't know the truth of his mother's death, as if he did, he'd run off to confront her killer, ending his own life in the process. Confident that the boy would never learn the truth, Elec tells Manito to keep his mouth shut, otherwise he and Granolah will both be killed. Elec then introduces himself to the boy, offering to pay him for his services. Back in the present, Manito regrets the decisions he's made, but Goku says he did it for the sake of Granolah, so he can't blame himself. However, Manito continues to downplay his credibility as a Namekian, stating that he can't even restore Goku's energy completely. Suddenly, Goku remembers that he and Vegeta brought another Sensu bean, but Vegeta says he stored it in his armor that he tossed away. An explosion then occurs moments after, and Granolah emerges from the smoke unconscious. Tagging in, Goku thanks Manito for healing some of his injuries and tells Vegeta to go back, find his armor, and eat the Sensu bean as soon as he finds it. Vegeta seems to be surprised by this, but Goku notes that it's only fair given he ate the first one. Vegeta tells Goku not to die, and Goku tells his ally to use his freaky face mode to defeat Gas as he flies off. Vegeta noting the form is called Ultra Ego. Goku lands in front of Gas, who, without hesitation, summons a blade and attempts to stab the Saiyan. However, Goku transforms into his perfected Super Saiyan blue form, halts the blade, and breaks it in half. Goku attempts to buy some time by launching a series of attacks at Gas, but appearing from an explosion, the heater smashes Goku in the head with a hammer he conjured up. Maki naively asserts that Gas didn't need the wish as Goku's being pushed back, and at the same time, Oil points out that Vegeta is missing. Vegeta locates his armor in the Sensu bean and returns to the battlefield where Goku is anxiously waiting for him. He stands over an unconscious Granolah and wakes him up, instructing him to eat the Sensu bean instead. Vegeta explains that it'll restore his strength, and confused as to why Vegeta, who had it all along, didn't use it himself, Vegeta responds that he would rather lose than resort to such a cowardly tactic. He encourages Granolah to seek his revenge against those who ruined his life by eating the bean and using his own strength to settle the score. On board the heater spaceship, Elec sits back and witnesses the explosions from afar, confident.
Because like real talk, he has his own way of doing the right thing. He just doesn't say it the way that, you know, people would say it. But he has his own way of doing the right thing, for real. He really does.
That Gas has secured his place as the universe's strongest. A suggestion is made to Elec to reposition their ship closer to the battlefield, but the heater insists on staying put until the conclusion of the fight, mentioning that he has other tasks to carry out. Meanwhile, Manito is being threatened by Oil and Maki, who demand to know Vegeta's whereabouts. At the scene of the fight, Granolah consumes the Sensu bean offered by Vegeta, leading to an immediate recovery from his injuries. Using instant transmission, he promptly steps in to thwart Oil and Maki's intimidation of Manito, employing a shockwave that hurls the duo into a nearby cliff. Gas halts his assault on Goku and notices this, questioning how Granolah managed to heal himself. Manito hands Oatmeal over to Granolah, who offers an apology for his past mistreatment and expresses gratitude for Oatmeal's support. Unlocking his left eye once more and charging up for the confrontation, Granolah challenges Gas to resume their fight. Interested, Gas tosses a defeated Goku aside, and the pair confront one another. Gas persists consistently employs his key manipulation technique to create an array of energy-based weapons, while Oatmeal assists Granolah. Gas attempts to swipe at Granolah with a shield, but Granolah evades, utilizing the opening to fire a barrage of ki blasts that Gas manages to block. The barrage continues as Gas ascends to the air, but darts back down as Granolah moves out of the way. Conjuring a spike, Gas charges at Granolah, but the latter redirects it and tosses Gas aside. Preparing kunai, Gas tosses a bunch at Granolah, but he deflects them and gives chase. At the same time, Oatmeal warns Granolah of his elevated heart rate and instructs him to stay calm and focused. He then alerts Granolah of a wrecking ball coming from above, which the Cerulean manages to stop from crushing him. However, Gas tugs at the chain and detonates the weapon, but Granolah remains unharmed. He attempts to move from the smoke, but is quickly warned by Oatmeal that he's surrounded by projectiles, as Gas confidently thrusts them into the smoke, supposedly hitting Granolah. As the dust clears though, Granolah's unharmed, clutching the remainder of the projectiles in his hands, and asserts ki manipulation won't work on him anymore. Goku queries Vegeta about Granolah's performance, to which Vegeta responds that the fighter is holding his own, and may even be outdoing Gas. Granolah continues his assault, exchanging blows with Gas and eventually landing a solid punch that sends him crashing into a tree. Oil questions how Gas could be getting pushed back, and upon further observation, Vegeta states that the Heater has only recently attained the title of the strongest, and has yet to fully harness his power. During their ongoing battle, Granolah questions why Gas is relying solely on his inherent abilities rather than the powers granted to him by the Wish. At the same time, Maki, on the sidelines, says to herself that it's not that Gas can't utilize his power, but he just doesn't want to. Unaware of this theory though, Granolah attempts to strike a powerful blow, only to be met with a barrier from Gas's growing aura. Effortlessly, Gas extends his hand and unleashes a colossal blast on Granolah at point-blank range, leaving the fighter with minor damages as he grows annoyed. Granolah points out that he knew Gas was holding back, and Gas concedes that he must draw on his newfound strength. He however points out his reluctance in doing so, as he intended to defeat Granolah using his own techniques. Granolah then unleashes another barrage of ki blasts, but using instant transmission, Gas appears in front of him, pointing out that any abilities Granolah gained are now his to wield as well. Gas delivers a devastating punch to Granolah and uses destruction to blow him away. Granolah rises quickly though and discards his jacket, stating he never thought taking Gas down would be easy, and goads the Heater to show him what he's really made of. Granolah uses instant transmission and appears behind Gas, who manages to block his attack. The high-speed, teleportation-filled aerial combat continues, with Goku pointing out that the two are using instant transmission like it's nothing, and he worked hard to learn that technique. Granolah, however, demonstrates a more obvious dominance in using it, corroborated by Vegeta, who states that Gas's attempts at using it are sloppy. As the two Saiyans continue to spectate, Vegeta notes that despite Gas having a speed and power advantage over Granolah, he isn't perfect, leaving room for Granolah to potentially turn the tide. The confrontation between Granolah and Gas rages on, with Granolah maintaining the upper hand, much to the increasing annoyance of Gas. As the battle unfolds, Oil expresses concern that their wish may have been in vain. However, Maki counters that Gas would never allow himself to be defeated so easily. As Gas begins to anticipate and counterattack Granolah's tactics, Vegeta observes that Granolah wasted too much time and allowed Gas to grow accustomed to his new power. Despite his increasing familiarity with Granolah's moves though, Gas is still overpowered. Granolah introduces clones into the battle, but Gas quickly dispatches each one, dismissing the tactic as ineffective. More Granolah clones charge in as Gas assumes victory, preparing himself and launching a series of simultaneous blasts to pierce the clones, much to everyone's surprise. Gas assumes that Granolah lost himself in his newfound skills, but the real Granolah appears in front of him.
One sec, y'all. It's on. Oh, had to make sure of something.
Asserting that he was waiting for the perfect opening to unleash his devastating attack. Granolah then lets out a resounding cry and blasts Gas in the stomach at point-blank range, sending him crashing through the rubble across planet Cereal and eventually landing in a river. Sinking to the bottom, Maki and Oil grow concerned and rush to their brother, Goku marveling at Granolah's power. However, the Cerulean collapses from exhaustion, and Vegeta notes that the creation and destruction of his clones have taken a significant toll on his body. Minato attempts to assist Granolah, but Granolah urges him to stay back, asserting that the fight is far from over. Soon after, Alec arrives, questioning Gas about his lackluster performance, much to the anger of Granolah. Maki questions how Gas could be struggling when he should be the strongest due to the wish that they made, and Alec confirms that they did indeed make a wish, but reveals that there's another power that Gas needs to master. He then removes a necklace from Gas's head, surprising Oil and Maki, who recall that things didn't end well the last time this was done. Gas begins to act erratically, and despite Maki's protest that Gas will lose all reason in his liberated state, Alec insists that he endure and unleash his innate power. Gas soon releases a mighty roar and is enveloped in a surge of power, causing him to grow significantly larger. Vegeta and Goku are puzzled by Gas's sudden transformation, and Minato, clearly terrified, reveals that he's seen this form before. He explains that when Gas first battled Bardock, he was losing and resorted to this form, losing his sense of self in the process. Now, in this larger and more powerful form, Gas charges toward Granolah, easily overpowering him. Granolah finds he's unable to defend himself, as Gas mercilessly pummels him around planet Cereal. Vegeta questions Minato on how Bardock managed to defeat Gas in this state, but Minato admits he doesn't know, as he was unconscious at the time. Maki notes that she knew Gas would lose himself in this state, and she and Oil attempt to reach out to him. However, Gas can no longer recognize them as allies and charges toward them, delivering a blow to both. Despite Maki and Oil's complaints about Gas's loss of control, Alec remains confident, asserting that as the strongest warrior in the universe, Gas will eventually gain control. Suddenly, Gas takes off and turns his attention to Vegeta, kicking him with intense force and slamming him into a nearby rock. He continues to overpower the wounded Saiyan with a flurry of punches, prompting Goku to rush in to help with a blocked attack. However, the sight of Goku reminds Gas of his battle with Bardock, causing him to recoil at the memory. Gas begins to shake and convulse in pain, but Alec's reminder of his vow to never lose again resonates with him. This awakening allows Gas to momentarily regain control, and his body undergoes another transformation. Everyone watches in anticipation as Gas regains his senses and takes control of his new form. Alec is delighted to see his younger brother officially become the strongest in the universe, a sentiment echoed by Goku, who notes that Gas has indeed awakened. Alec instructs Gas to eliminate all who stand in their way, and Gas complies with a nod. Harnessing his newfound power, Gas immobilizes Goku and Vegeta with a paralyzing spell, leaving them motionless. Alec commands Gas to end the Saiyans, but suddenly, Granolah appears beside him, attempting a strike. Gas quickly moves his brother out of harm's way to Granolah's surprise, and Alec taunts Granolah as the latter declares he murdered his mother. He goes on to say that had it not been for the heaters, nobody on planet Cereal would have died, and prepares to kill Alec. However, Alec confidently asserts that the heaters could have killed Granolah whenever they chose, and this time is no different. Gas then quickly snaps Granolah's arms with a swift kick, causing the civilian to scream out in pain. Without hesitation, Gas then incapacitates Granolah by gouging out his eyes, and he falls into Alec's lap. Alec sarcastically thanks Granolah for all the jobs he's done for them and grants him the courtesy of dying the same way his mother did, using the same weapon to blast Granolah through the stomach, much to the surprise of everyone present. Granolah plummets into the water below as Alec says that was a long time coming. Gas then noting he lost interest in fighting Granolah, so his pathetic death is of no concern. Goku grows angry at the sight of losing Granolah, and suddenly, Vegeta grants Goku his last bit of energy, breaking him free from Gas's spell. Vegeta tells Goku to use his energy wisely and to defeat Gas once and for all, prompting Goku to silently agree. Gas begins to thank his brother for bestowing the honor of the strongest in the universe to him, and to thank him, Alec proposes Gas eliminate the remaining threats on the battlefield. As Gas turns to kill Goku and Vegeta though, he notices Goku in his perfected Super Saiyan Blue form, free from his spell. Goku immediately takes off and delivers a kick to Gas, who lands on the ground impressed by the Saiyan's prowess. Angered, Goku attempts to gather himself and eventually calms down, telling Gas he's got no real reason to fight him and questions if he can leave planet Cereal. Gas inquires if Goku is upset about the death of Granolah, to which Goku responds he is, but anger is an emotion that messes with his special move, so he'll have to control it. Alec then cuts in, stating that because the Saiyans know their plan, they can't allow the them to escape, prompting Gas to unleash a spiked platform that
Jesus
comes down
Christ.
on Goku. Goku manages to avoid it, but Gas conjures 2 additional platforms like a wall to crush him, causing the Saiyan to struggle. Goku eventually breaks free, but is forced on the defensive by a barrage of more energy-based weaponry. Gas then uses telekinesis to hurl the debris of the nearby ruined city at Goku, culminated with a moving train as well. Goku lands on top of the train and Gas joins him, remarking that he was merely assessing his power and didn't assume such techniques would kill him. He then invites Goku to demonstrate his true power as the son of Bardock, prompting Goku to charge in. Goku responds with a flurry of attacks, but fails to land a hit. Gas, however, lands a punch to Goku's gut and questions the Saiyan's determination, comparing it unfavorably to Bardock's. Goku is hit with another train thanks to Gas's telekinesis, and below, a weakened Vegeta wonders what Goku's doing. Amongst the lull in the battle, Gas states that when it came to combat, Bardock's resolve was like no other, but notes he doesn't sense the same from Goku. He questions if he's truly the son of the Saiyan, to which Goku responds he hit his head as a child, losing all memories of his father and the Saiyan race. Noting that Goku is one who can't comprehend who he really is, Gas vows that he won't fall to someone so pathetic and launches Goku into the water below. Creating an opening to observe the Saiyan struggle to breathe, Gas toys with the idea of suffocating Goku, but notes an easy victory wouldn't satisfy him. Goku manages to fire a blast, but Gas reflects Goku's counterattack, unleashing a blast of his own that creates a colossal explosion and blast in the lake, covering the heaters who watch from the sidelines. Goku recovers near them and catches his breath, wondering how he'll be able to defeat Gas. He notices that Gas has his eyes fixated elsewhere though, coming to the realization that this is the reason everyone's been revived after a period of time. Goku then glances over and sees the unconscious Granolah being healed by Manito, overjoyed that the Cerulean is still alive. This revelation surprises Vegeta and the others, as Gas asserts that Manito will have to die first. Gas launches in and prepares to kill the Namekian, but Goku catches him just in time and uses instant transmission, warping them away to everyone's confusion. On an unknown planet, Jocko is seen shopping as the duo come flying in, alerting the patrolman. Goku greets Jocko, glad that he was on a nearby planet, and Gas questions where they are, though Goku is unsure himself. Goku, however, asserts that his instant transmission ability is superior to Gas's, honed over many years and isn't easy to master. In response, Gas attempts to attack Goku utilizing said technique, but Goku proves his point, moving out of the way until he's forced to block a kick from his enemy, the sheer magnitude of the impact blowing away Jocko as well as the planet's inhabitants. Goku challenges Gas to follow him wherever he goes and uses instant transmission to flee, prompting Gas to do the same, leaving behind a tattered area. Jocko sits in amazement, remarking on Goku's knack for finding formidable foes. Teleporting to an outpost of more Galactic Patrol members, Goku and Gas continue their fight. Despite blocking Gas's kick, Goku sustains a bruise. Gas launches a barrage of kicks while Goku manages to block each one, and utilizing instant transmission, he teleports both himself and Gas to a different location. Goku continues to showcase his superior control of the technique, leading Gas from one planet to another, and eventually behind a truck filled with waste that dumps on him. Goku mocks Gas, telling him he was warping recklessly and suggests cleaning up in a river nearby, but angered, the fighter rushes in with a punch as he and Goku teleport to the Galactic King's palace. Gas falls directly into the tub with the Galactic King, as Goku continues to mock him, much to his irritation. Back on planet Cereal, the Heaters and Vegeta question the location of Goku and Gas, who wind up at the Galactic Prison next, Goku slamming into one of the cells courtesy of Gas. The two encounter past villains, more specifically the members of the Saganbo Bandit Brigade, who recognize Gas and tell him to break them out of jail and they'll help defeat Goku as well. Uninterested in their assistance though, Gas declines, prompting anger from Zoyogi, and Yunba reminisces on their first ever encounter with Gas, noting he wet himself out of fear. Gas denies this as Yunba continues to tease him, Goku laughing along as the Heater continues to grow irritated. The jokes persist, and a once collected Gas yells out against the allegations, exclaiming that there were only a few drops of pee because he had to hold it in for a long time. While the remaining Heaters attempt to trace Gas's position, Goku questions Gas about his motives and blind loyalty to Elec. Gas attacks Goku while explaining his gratitude toward Elec for raising him to his current level of power, and intends to repay him by making the Heaters the supreme organization in the universe. Goku questions Gas's trust in his brother, pointing out that his own sibling sibling tried to kill him in the past. Gas grows more irritated, and back on Serial, Alec and the other Heaters decide to deal with the exhausted survivors before the conclusion of Goku and Gas's battle. As Goku continues to use instant transmission to dodge Gas's relentless attacks, he finds himself growing increasingly wary. He lands on a Galactic Patrol spaceship, noting he can't play defense much longer, but suddenly senses a familiar energy nearby and disappears, just as Gas teleports in to deliver a finishing blow. On a volcanic planet, Whis and the Oracle Fish are enjoying dessert while riding a giant dinosaur. Suddenly, Goku appears, followed shortly by Gas. Goku greets Whis, noting how lucky he was to sense his energy, and when Gas questions who this stranger is, Goku says he's his master, who also happens to be an angel. Revealing his strategy to leave Gas with Whis, Goku uses instant transmission to backtrack all the locations he visited, landing back on planet Serial moments before the Heaters can attack Manito. Questioning how Goku made it back to Serial without Gas, Alec grows annoyed. On the far reaches of the universe with Whis, Gas attempts to use instant transmission as Goku did, but struggles as Whis explains the distance from there to Serial is too great to warp to directly. Angrily questioning the direction of planet Serial from their location, Gas gets instructions from Whis, taking off at light speed to finish his battle with Goku. Whis jokes about Gas staying for a more leisurely visit, prompting confusion from the Oracle Fish on the stranger's identity, surprising Whis. Goku reunites with the others, having bought them some time before Gas returns. Oatmeal is also present, having activated a mobile android mode to assist. Spotting the group fleeing, Mackie questions Alec if they should unleash their inner natures like Gas did earlier, but Alec comments that they'd be no match for Goku and should retreat until Gas returns. In a hover car on the way to Manito's house, Goku spots a small communication device that Whis planted on him earlier. Whis warns Goku that Gas is approaching and will arrive in 20 minutes Earth time. This revelation shocking the group as Manito informs them that this isn't enough time to fully heal Granolah. Whis questions Goku's progress with Ultra Instinct, and Goku notes he isn't satisfied with it yet, being unable to fully calm his heart as Whis does. Whis tells him that as a fundamentally different life form, this is understandable, but repeats to Goku that it's up to him to discover his own unique version of the technique. Whis leaves Goku with one last piece of advice to listen to the voice within himself as he and the others arrive at Manito's house. Inside, Manito reveals something to Goku, Bardock's scouter. Goku suddenly realizes that
I have got to get a scouter. I gotta get a scouter for myself. I have to get a scouter. That's the last thing as a Dragon Ball fan that I need to get. I need to get a scouter. For real. I dead ass need to get a scouter.
this object belonged to his real father. In attempting to bring life to the device, Vegeta notes that it's broken, but there's evidence of saved audio. Manito suggests that if they play it, they might get an answer to how Bardock defeated Gas, prompting Oatmeal to take the scouter, stating he can access its circuitry directly and play the audio via his speakers.
Oh, wow.
As Gas continues to furiously fly toward the group through space, Mackie, tracking him, notices his speed with astonishment. Oatmeal powers up the scouter and begins to play the device's stored audio, Manito recognizing Bardock's voice, warning him to escape with Granolah from the battle with Gas 40 years ago. He says he'll slow Gas down and tells them to stay alive, which awakens a deep, repressed memory within Goku of Bardock and his mother Gine telling him the same thing as they sent him away from planet Vegeta before its destruction. The shock of this awakened memory ripples through Goku, and a sharp electric aura fires up around him. The scene then transitions to Bardock's battle with Gas 40 years ago. Bardock launches in and strikes Gas directly, sending him crashing into the forest below. However, unharmed, Gas thinks to himself that Bardock must be a Saiyan, noting his exponential strength, unlike the other Saiyans he'd heard were coming to planet Serial. Bardock continues his assault, but Gas evades, launching a powerful ki attack at the Saiyan, who manages to deflect it. To Gas's surprise, Bardock delivers a blow to his gut and kicks him down to the forest once more, attempting to catch his breath, and notes that likely didn't finish him off. Landing near Manito, Bardock's message to stay alive is repeated, and getting a sudden reading on his scouter, Gas leaps from the forest, telling Bardock that he won't escape. Noticing the minimal damage done to Gas, Bardock ponders his next move, while Gas, considering Alec's instructions to end things quickly, remarks that playtime is over. Conjuring a mace for battle, Gas prepares himself for round 2. Manito, however, interjects before they get started, insisting Bardock Bardock has already done ample for them and he should seek safety. Gas, catching bits of the conversation, darkly predicts to Bardock that the Saiyan race's survival is tenuous, regardless of his actions. Having heard enough vague premonitions though, Bardock dismisses the idea of escape and engages Gas in battle. Gas leaps over a blast from Bardock and slams him overhead with his weapon. Bardock grabs the weapon though and tosses Gas into the air. Landing in the distance, Bardock tells Monito to leave while he can as this is his fight now and takes off to confront Gas. Exchanging blows, Gas exclaims that Bardock's attacks are nothing to him, unleashing a vicious beam of energy that overwhelms the Saiyan. As he collapses to the ground, Gas reveals that he can't afford to waste any more time and opts to unleash a bit of his inner nature, surprising Bardock. Simultaneously, Monito hastens to his home to collect the Dragon Balls of cereal, intending to use them to aid Bardock, who persists in the fight despite his deteriorating state. Bardock realizes that Gas is capable of adjusting his power level, and the fighter boasts of the full extent of his power, questioning if Bardock has lost the will to fight. However, the Saiyan notes that nothing gets him more excited than battling a powerful foe, prompting anger from Gas, who kicks Bardock in the gut with intense force and knocks him away. Immediately rushing back to the battle, the Dragon God Toronbo is unknowingly summoned in the distance. Monito beseeches him to transport Bardock back to his home world, and in the midst of his battle, the Saiyan is contacted by the dragon regarding the proposition. Although initially confused on who's speaking to him, Bardock refuses the offer, stating he'd rather die than run from an enemy as he continues to attack Gas. Gas continues to dominate the battle, and in the lull of it, Monito persists in encouraging Bardock to save himself, but he refuses once more. Instead, Monito queries if there's an alternate wish that could be fulfilled for Bardock, who replies that he would wish for the prosperity of his children. Observing the battle and Dragon's radiance from afar,
there it is right there. There it is right there. There it is right there. Hold on. Get to, wait a minute.
Bardock, who replies that he would.
There it is right there. The main reason, the main sole reason as to why Goku has plot armor of the decade and why we always keep saying Goku can beat anybody, because his father wished for his sons to thrive, meaning that no matter what happens to them, the power of God, luck, and anime will be on their side 24/7. It does not matter. So for those who are saying, that Goku couldn't beat this person, that person, shut up. Says it right there. And I don't need to have no power scale, no data, no numbers about who's stronger, who's not. It literally says it right there. Because of Bardock's wish, Goku will always exceed his limits. Goku will always find a way to get through shit. Point blank, period.
Would wish for the prosperity of his children. Observing the battle and Dragon's radiance from afar, the other heaters grow
Alright, back to this.
When the Dragon Balls scatter, Elec opts to investigate, instructing Oil and Maki to proceed to greet Frieza's incoming spaceship. Back at the battlefield, Gas continues to dominate Bardock, unleashing a lethal barrage of energy blasts at the Saiyan, all connecting as the surrounding area is destroyed. When the attack settles, Gas appears fatigued. He approaches the fallen Bardock, lifts him by the tail, and violently throws him to the ground, repeating the process until Bardock loses his tail. Gas tries to execute Bardock, generating an energy spear which he propels at the wounded Saiyan, but Monito intercepts it, getting hit in the shoulder. Infuriated by the ceaseless interruptions, Gas lets his innate power fully take over. He forcefully strikes Bardock and Monito, sending the Namekian crashing into a rock as the Saiyan watches from the ground. Gas then seizes Bardock by the throat, declaring that he'll die here without having saved anyone. Yet again, Bardock refutes the notion of surrender and manages to counterattack, unleashing a blast that creates an enormous explosion. Amidst the smoke, Bardock gains the upper hand, delivering a flurry of devastating attacks to Gas and kicking him into the distance.
Holy
Gas
shit.
questions Bardock's motivation for persisting in a futile fight, asking if it's an act of atonement for his Saiyan misdeeds or a quest for vengeance, but Bardock denies both. Powering up more, the Saiyan halts a devastating attack from Gas, simply stating that he's striving for victory and nothing more. The combat dynamics shift as Bardock overpowers Gas, landing a gut punch and blasting him to the distance. Gas is left bewildered by Bardock's strength, presumed that other than their great ape form, Saiyans don't have any other ascended state. Bardock clarifies that his race has a unique capability to evolve every time they surpass their limits, and unwilling to accept the gap in power between them, Gas falls into a pit of rage. Bardock, however, interrupts this, continuing to dominate the battle and unleashes a energy blast, hitting Gas from afar and ends the battle.
Let's go, Bardock!
Falls to the ground as Elec.
Now, somebody in the comments say that the Omni-Man could, man, please. I don't want to hear shit. Omni-Man loses every single time. Every single time. Fuck out of here.
Having witnessed the conclusion of the battle, approaches an unconscious Gas, noting they'll need to double down on his training efforts. He then turns to Bardock, who's still alive, and the Saiyan questions Elec on his loyalty to Frieza. Though he provides a vague response, Elec changes the subject, mocking Bardock and the Saiyan race for unknowingly following Frieza, considering what he has planned for them soon. Elec then removes his weapon and shoots Bardock in the arm. The wounded Saiyan falls backward, tumbling off the cliff and into the forest below. Mackie informs Elec that Frieza has arrived, and before departing, he blindly shoots into the forest, confident that Bardock won't survive given the damage he's received. After some time, Manito regains consciousness and reaches Bardock, both surprised that they're still alive. Bardock questions the safety of Granolah, and upon confirming that he's okay, Manito compliments the Saiyan on his victorious battle. In the present, Goku, Vegeta, and Manito are left in a state of shock as the recording from Bardock's scouter ends, while Granolah lies unconscious, recovering.
And he had his scouter on the whole time.
More about his parents, realizes that Bardock's return to planet Vegeta after battling Gas was one of the main reasons he and Gine decided to send him away as a baby. Goku finally understands the true meaning of Saiyan pride and admits that he's been feeling a loss of confidence in his own power. Vegeta shares a similar sentiment, understanding that he's lost sight of his own Saiyan pride, which he's burdened himself with for so long due to his fixation on making amends for his past wrongdoing. Somewhat irritated, Vegeta acknowledges that his realization was led by Goku's father. He also recognizes, much to his annoyance, that Goku and Raditz's survival and growth into adulthood were partly due to the wish made by Bardock with the Dragon Balls. As Goku and Vegeta engage in a trivial argument over Vegeta's gentle treatment over his daughter, Manito ponders over Bardock's legacy, understanding that the pride of any race or tribe comes from accepting their true nature and standing firm in their beliefs. Manito offers to further heal Goku and Vegeta and provides them with battle armor similar to Bardock's. However, the two decide to fight in their regular clothes. Meanwhile, Gas, who'd been flying through space after being left behind by Goku, finally manages to teleport outside Manito's house as he comes within range of instant transmission. Noticing their brother's return to the planet, Elec instructs the other Heaters to move their ship to a safer distance and watch the battle. Goku and Vegeta, rejuvenated by their newfound determination, stands before Gas, who assumed they would have run off by now. Gas vows to slaughter the two and prepare to defeat this enemy even if it kills him. Vegeta and Goku decide to fight together as their energy builds, though their rivalry still compels them to compete in landing the finishing blow to Gas. They both transform into their perfected Ultra Instinct and Ultra Ego forms respectively, their auras swirling into a raging inferno of destruction and the power of the angels. Gas questions if the two intend to face him together, stating that the Saiyans are as mindless as ever, as they still can't comprehend the gulf in their power. Goku, however, tells Gas he's the one who doesn't understand, prompting Vegeta to state that their final battle has nothing to do with their odds of victory, but the sheer desire to win. The two then charge at Gas, delivering simultaneous blows to both sides. However, Gas is unimpressed by their power, noting that this is about what he expected from the duo. Goku and Vegeta put their combo moves to use as they try to attack Gas, but initially their attacks fail to land. Goku, however, ascends to the air and exchanges blows, prompting Vegeta to join in and do the same, triggering a hint of struggle from Gas. Catching Vegeta's fist, Gas redirects it and sends him to the ground, followed by Goku shortly after. The Saiyans' resolve keeps them trained on Gas though, as they continue to combine attacks and pursue him. Gas unleashes a powerful energy wave that the duo dodges, responding in kind with their own Kamehameha and Gallic gun. But Gas teleports before impact. The Heater smashes Vegeta to the ground with a key manipulated mace and tries the same with Goku, but the Saiyan's Ultra Instinct prevents this, triggering Gas, who kicks Goku to the ground, crushing his stomach. Warning them not to get cocky, Gas is interrupted when Vegeta whips up a destruction sphere capable of erasing mortals, launching it at Gas as Goku uses instant transmission to move out of the way. Confident that he can deflect the attack, Gas conjures a shield and blocks the sphere, but Goku, appearing next to Vegeta, assists him in pushing the Heater back as his weapon fades in the power of destruction. Watching close by, Maki and Oil worry about their brother's safety, but Elec, confident, asserts that Gas will be fine given the wish to become the strongest came after Goku and Vegeta's ascended states, making him unbeatable. Gas musters more of his power to push the destruction sphere back at the Saiyan duo, who note that a continued struggle is no use. In response, Vegeta takes the opportunity to leave Goku to fend off the attack and charges toward Gas, promptly receiving a devastating gut kick and punches that follow, being knocked into a boulder. Mocking the Saiyan Prince, Gas questions if he thinks he can win as he prepares a finishing blow, and Goku, meanwhile, still struggles with the sphere of destruction. Determined to protect the city he nearly comes in contact with, Goku manages to fling the sphere into space and uses instant transmission to assist Vegeta. Vegeta, however, is in mid-battle with Gas and lands a clean hit to his face, surprising Goku as the Heater questions how the Saiyan is still moving. Wiping blood from his face, Vegeta asserts that damage is nothing to him but fuel, alluding that he's only becoming stronger, much to Gas's anger. Vegeta questions what Gas will do faced with this dilemma, and in response, the Heater initiates a relentless assault ending in a blow to Vegeta's gut, asserting that he'll kill him in one blow and be done with this. Goku readies himself to intervene, but Vegeta rises once more, landing a punch to Gas's gut that leaves him winded, Vegeta thanking him for the prime fuel. Gas continues to pummel Vegeta, utilizing the instant transmission technique to teleport him to the surrounding areas on Serial and deliver blows when he reappears. The Saiyan continues to take a beating as Goku rushes in to help, but Vegeta commands him to stay back, much to his confusion. Catching his breath, Vegeta asserts that his Ultra Ego is continuing to evolve, but questions Goku of his Ultra Instinct and tells him to figure it out fast. In the meantime, Vegeta rushes in and unleashes a barrage of attacks on Gas, while Goku, aiming to discover his own version of Ultra Instinct, reverts to base form and summons a meditative barrier. Vegeta continues his attacks, but annoyed, Gas swats him away, asserting he ceased his pointless struggle. Vegeta, though, severely wounded with his left eye swelled, declares he isn't done yet, much to the surprise of Maki and the others. Gas lands powerful punches to Vegeta's ribs, aiming to topple him, and follows up with a severe uppercut to the chin, landing Vegeta head first on the ground. A silence falls on the battlefield as Gas asserts he won't be standing again, but determined, Vegeta glares at his enemy with fire in his eyes, much to the shock of Gas. Vegeta rises to his feet once more, asserting he's no longer bound by limits and charges in. However, when a scared Gas blocks and opens his eyes, the Saiyan Prince stands before him, unconscious, as he falls to the ground, defeated. Regaining confidence, Gas mocks Vegeta for resorting to a technique that requires him to receive damage and prepares to finish him off, conjuring a sword to finally end his life. However, as Gas moves to land the killing blow, his sword breaks along the edge of a force field now surrounding Vegeta. Much to his surprise, Goku, completing his meditation, has saved Vegeta, moving him to his location as Gas unleashes a barrage of ki blasts at Goku. When the dust settles, Goku is unharmed, dropping his barrier to confront Gas and asserts this final move will be his only option, so he might as well try it out. Gas notes that despite Goku's impending death, he somehow remains carefree, prompting agreement from Goku, who points out that's how he's always been. Goku then begins to power up as Gas questions what form he'll pull out next. Goku responding that he's finally figured out the best way to make use of his own power. He then unleashes a massive surge of energy, revealing his true Ultra Instinct. Perplexed, Gas believed Goku's silver hair form was his ultimate power, but Goku explains that his perfected Ultra Instinct form requires tranquility and calmness, but in this sign form, he can utilize his current emotions more effectively. He admits that his heart is no longer calm, and reminded of Bardock, Gas charges at Goku in a fit of rage. However, Goku holds the upper hand in the ensuing clash, landing a serious punch to Gas's face unlike any previous attempt, causing an explosion that blows the heater's ship out of the sky. Goku relentlessly pursues Gas in his advantageous state, utilizing instant transmission to kick him into the air and unleashing a Kamehameha that explodes on impact. Fearful, Gas wonders what's going on as Goku states he's just barely stronger than him now, opting to finish the battle quickly as he charges in once more. The fighters exchange blows with Gas on the defensive, Goku snapping the horns on his face as Gas attempts to retaliate. However, Goku unleashes an erratic beam of energy from his mouth, surprising Vegeta on the sidelines, who jokes about this version of Ultra Instinct. Growing increasingly frustrated at the thought of sacrificing his pride just to lose, Gas summons a flurry of ki-induced weapons to launch at Goku, but the latter effortlessly moves around them to be met with a wrecking ball flying toward him. Goku, however, grabs the chain of said ball and hurls it back at Gas, taking advantage of his opening to deliver a devastating kick to his chest, sending him flying across planet Cereal. As Gas struggles to recover, Elec approaches him, expressing his disappointment and reminding Gas that the Saiyans are merely a stepping stone toward their ultimate goal, which is defeating Frieza. Goku tells Elec that he doesn't need to force Gas to continue the battle, as he's ready for a fight anytime. However, Elec insists that there won't be a next time for Gas. Suddenly, a massive surge of energy emanates from Gas, who rises to his feet, now significantly aged. As Goku marvels at the heater's exponential energy growth, Gas uses telekinetic abilities to strangle him. However, Goku escapes by using instant transmission and tries to counterattack, only to be swatted away nonchalantly by Gas. Gas then appears behind Goku, reveling in his newfound power, describing a sensation as if every cell in his body is set ablaze, fueling him even further. He grabs Goku by the head and hurls him into the Cerulean Forest, ensnaring him in a whirlwind and landing multiple ki blasts before letting him drop to the ground. Gas lifts Goku up and relentlessly pummels him with colossal spectral fists and boots made of ki. On the sidelines, Oil and Maki question their brother's aged appearance, but Elec is concerned more with his power, noting that Gas is stronger than ever before. Gas and Goku launch toward each other to continue their battle, but suddenly a blast intervenes, originating from Granolah, who recovered enough to join the battle. This observation annoys Elec, and much to Gas's astonishment, Granolah rushes in and knocks Goku down. Taking the advantage of the battle dust, Granolah, having heard Bardock's recording on the scouter during his dream, questions Goku on if he's ready to stake everything on his power. The smoke then dissipates, revealing Granolah and Goku ready to finish the battle. As Granolah begins to amass energy for a blast, Goku assures him he'll try to hold off Gas as long as possible. Gas charges in, and although Goku manages to land a formidable kick to the enemy, he's quickly taken down again. Observing Granolah's accumulating energy, Gas turns his attention toward him. Goku, however, shields him with a ki barrier as a blast comes hurtling in, the Saiyan noting that nobody's giving up and taking Gas down. Gas, growing increasingly irate, bombards Goku with a barrage of energy blasts, effectively knocking him out as the barrier diminishes. Things take a turn for the worst until Vegeta, despite his injuries, intervenes and urges Granolah to hurry. As Maki and Oil attempt to assist their brother, Minato steps in and uses hypnosis to put the two to sleep, ridiculing them for underestimating him. Once Granolah's gathered enough energy for his attack, Gas tries to charge at him once more. However, Goku awakens, manifesting his giant spectral form from his battle with Moro.
Now this shit is insane. This shit is actually insane. Well, then again, if they had Superman do it, why not Goku? If they had Superman do it, why not Goku? Shit.
In an instant, he grabs Gas and hurls him to the planet's edge.
Goku just
Granola's
made a
vision,
freaking.
still impaired,
Oh my
struggles
god.
to target an
I
opponent
don't even know how to
at such a
say it
distance
right.
accurately. However,
A
with
freaking
Oatmeal's
Susanoo
assistance and
of
everyone's
himself.
plea to fire, he releases the attack and hits Gas directly, causing an explosion that shakes the entire planet. Maki and Oil wake up after the battle's end, and in the distance, Gas plummets to the ground, defeated. However, Granolah informs his siblings that he didn't kill Gas, as he no longer harbors a desire for revenge. He informs the Heaters that Gas will be unconscious for the next few days, orders them to take him away, and never return to Planet Cereal. As the two rush off, Granolah apologizes to Goku and Vegeta for his previous actions, as Gas lies in a crater, motionless. Goku and Vegeta reflect over the need to continue their training as it wasn't enough, and suddenly, Granolah collapses to his knees, coughing up blood. Convinced that the assault has further shortened his lifespan, the Cerulean reveals that he only has 3 years left to live, noting the price he had to pay to become the strongest in the universe. Vegeta assumes the same stipulation for Gas, though he isn't sure how long he's got left, and Manito approaches, aiming to heal Granolah's wounds. To his surprise, Manito finds that his powers have matured, enabling him to restore Granolah to full strength, as well as Goku and Vegeta. Meanwhile, Elliot plans to withdraw, annoyed that his wish for Gas turned out to be a complete failure. When questioned by Goku if he plans to leave his family behind, Elliot confirms, but suddenly, a fatal beam of light pierces Manito's chest from behind, much to the shock of everyone present. It was Gas who'd struck the blow, appearing more aged than ever, taunting Granolah on his aversion to revenge. Granolah rushes to his friend's aid, and Goku and Vegeta transform to true Ultra Instinct and Ultra Ego, entering the battle once more. Gas immediately uses telekinesis to slam the two together, but the Saiyans recover and deliver blows of their own. Decaying as he takes damage, Gas unleashes a colossal energy blast at Goku and Vegeta, who manage to block the impact. However, with the attack still ensuing, Gas charges through the beam at light speed and kicks the Saiyans in their faces, sending them flying backward. As Goku notes the confusion of Gas flying through his own attack, Vegeta notes the battle is akin to fighting something that's already dead. On the sidelines, Granolah tends to Manito, but the latter accepts his fate given his situation, as Granolah fights to keep him alive. Witnessing the battle, Ellic urges Gas to eliminate their enemies before he succumbs to his imminent demise. Maki intervenes, suggesting a retreat and another attempt at battle later, but in a shocking turn, Ellic slaps her and dismisses the idea, revealing that Gas's enhanced strength came at the cost of sacrificing much of his brother's life. Pausing mid-battle, this revelation stuns both Gas and their adversaries. Gas, horrified by the realization of his impending death, gazes at his decaying face in shock. However, Ellic unremorsefully instructs his brother to brace himself for the inevitable arrival, making himself useful to him in his last moments before it's too late. At that moment, Frieza himself arrives on the planet. He casually greets—
My whole thing is, okay, so wait a minute. Let me regather my thoughts. All this is going on, right? No one hears a ship. No one sees anything coming. The battle is going on. The whole thing about Gas and him dying literally in battle. And here comes this motherfucker. Like, where did you come from? Where did you come from, Frieza? Where?
Gas, horrified by the realization of his impending death, gazes at his decaying face in shock. However, Ellic unremorsefully instructs his brother to brace himself for the inevitable arrival, making himself useful to him in his last moments before it's too late. At that moment, Frieza himself arrives on the planet. He casually greets Gas, prompting a mix of fear and anger within him. The fighter powers up and declares his intention to kill Frieza, but despite charging in at breakneck speed, the tyrant effortlessly penetrates his gut, ending his resistance. The remainder of Gas's lifespan ends, and the latter completely fades away and collapses, Frieza proceeding to crush the Heater's skull, scaring Ellic. Frieza questions Ellic on why he contacted him to come to Planet Cereal, threatening him with death should it be a waste of time.
I forgot. Because he was trying to kill Frieza, so of course he called him there. Oh, you stupid fuck.
communication, but Frieza deduces his master plan, declaring that he meant to have Gas eliminate him, pointing out Gas as dust floating in the wind. Frieza quickly appears in front of Elec, telling him that he's been aware of his intentions for the past 40 years, but let him live to exploit him for his army's benefit. Shocked that the tyrant knew all along, Frieza reveals that there's nothing in the universe he isn't privy to. Even the fact that the weakest among the heaters is Elec. Having heard enough, Elec attempts to attack Frieza, but Frieza effortlessly halts his punch and eviscerates him in mere moments, instilling fear in the remaining heaters.
Yikes.
Turning to Goku and Vegeta, Frieza casually greets them. The Saiyan duo demands an explanation for Frieza's victory over Gas, Vegeta noting that he was wished to be the strongest in the universe, so Frieza shouldn't have stood a chance.
In this universe,
Frieza,
you
however,
mean?
reveals
Oh
a shocking
my
truth,
god.
asserting that he's been spending time in another dimension where time flows differently than the
Now, how the fuck did you manage to do that, Frieza? How the fuck did you So you mean to tell me you found your own time chamber where time was slowed down? Are you seriously telling me this?
outside world, similar to the hyperbolic time chamber. There, he was able to squeeze in 10 years worth of training, shocking both Goku and Vegeta. The tyrant notes that he couldn't keep losing to Saiyans his entire life, and transforms into a new form, which he dons as Black Frieza. Without hesitation, he charges in as the Saiyans power up to their strongest forms, landing a single blow that effortlessly defeats Goku and Vegeta. As the Saiyans sit in pain,
10 years worth of training. You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? You want to know what's crazy? Niggas back then always made the stipulation: how long would you want to be in the hyperbolic time chamber to make yourself be unstoppable? Some said 5, some said 7. But you want to know the crazy thing I said? At sometimes I said 10 years. So Frieza just literally did what I thought about. Suspending myself in a slowed time area. So a suspended universe where I could literally train as much as I want. And in actual reality, it was actual time. So let's say I was in that space for 10 years. It might have been at least a week or a month for this dude. Holy shit.
Dimension allowed him to surpass them, having achieved satisfaction from their defeat and stating that he didn't come to kill them today. Frieza decides to spare Goku and Vegeta and departs. However, he notices the cowering Oil and Maki, offering them a place in his army as servants. Fearful of meeting the same fate as their fallen siblings, Oil and Maki agree to follow Frieza to his departing ship. Just like that, the trio leave as Goku and Vegeta, recovering, approach Manito and Granolah. The latter notes that Manito stopped breathing, but suddenly a wave of light emanates from him and he rises instantly. This was due to Whis' intervention, granting a one-time favor to Goku by restoring Manito. Manito, confused, wonders who Whis is and learns that he's an angel. Whis then urges Goku and Vegeta to join him as Beerus is struggling and making instant yakisoba. Goku invites Granolah to Beerus for training, but he declines, opting to use the Dragon Balls to repair the damage. Hold on,
wait a minute.
Vegeta, he's an angel.
Vegeta said pour boiling water into it. Done.
Whis then urges Goku and Vegeta to join him as Beerus is struggling and making instant yakisoba. Goku invites Granolah to Beerus for training, but he declines, opting to use the Dragon Balls to repair the damage on Cereal. Vegeta then hands Granolah the Dragon Radar that Maki dropped, explaining its use, and Manito gives Goku his father's scouter, as the Saiyan sees the reflection of his kin before departing. Vegeta invites Granolah to visit Earth if he ever wants to do battle with a Saiyan again, and confident he'll win any time, Goku, Vegeta, and Whis bid farewell. On their way back, Goku questions Whis on if the strongest being in the universe mentioned by the Oracle Fish is Frieza, to which Whis responds that it could be Frieza, or perhaps another emerging force in the universe. And so, Goku and Vegeta's battle to the death with gas ended in an abrupt loss to Frieza, with Goku now aware of the massive gap in power between him and his foe. However, Vegeta is also aware of this, and the two continue their training on Beerus' planet in hopes of defeating Frieza. The Granolah arc gets mixed reviews between Dragon Ball fans, but
look, I love it. I love it, and thank you, Justin's Den, for doing this. Holy shit. Well, with that being said, we finished it. That was part 2. I love the Granolah arc. I love the Granolah arc. It is my favorite arc, one of my favorite arcs, because we got more lore about Bardock, and something that I want to happen is getting closer and closer by the day. The encounter between Goku and his father and son, Bardock and Goku and Kakarot. And I hope one day we get to see that on screen. I hope one day Bardock really gets to see and acknowledge his son's family. He sees Chi-Chi. And, man, I want that to happen so bad. I want it to happen so bad. Y'all just don't know. I understand it's a pipe dream. I understand that people won't agree with me, but fuck that. That would honestly be the most wholesome thing I have ever seen in one of the most wholesome things I've ever seen in Dragon Ball. Well, with that being said, I'm gonna get up out of here. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section down below. Happy Dragon Ball Sunday to all of you. This has been Master Sakurai. I will see y'all again next time. I'm out. Peace.
勝ちだぜぐんぐんぐんぐんぐんを抜きじゃんじゃんじゃんじゃん究極のバトン意味はないさ